Hey everyone, welcome back to 25 Sweet Peas. Today for you, I'm going to be swatching the new China Glaze Spellbound collection, which is a 6-piece Halloween collection that they've released, which is the first release we've seen from China Glaze in a while because they decided to forego a fall collection this year and just move on to Halloween. And I'm hoping that means we will get a Christmas collection because Christmas collections and summer collections are the most fun. But today it's all about the Halloween one. So here we've got a good mix of actual colors this time. And we also have a mix of different finishes, which we will kind of cover in the video because some are hit or miss. But also I wanted to let y'all know that China Glaze now actually sells their polishes on the China Glaze website if you're interested in shopping directly from them. That is kind of new since their last release, which is also really cool. So the first shade is called Having a Crystal Ball, and this is the first bottle shot that you also saw, and it has a very kind of denim blue vibe to it, but as you rotate it, sometimes you get a purple tone in there as well, and it's really pretty. I did find it a little bit runnier than most of China Glaze polishes, so you kind of have to be mindful with how much you apply at once, but I still had really great coverage in 2 coats. Then the next shade is a perfect fall orange and it's called Payback's a Witch, and this one is super sparkly. I don't recall China Glaze doing this sort of finish that often, but whenever they do it, I absolutely love it because it's so sparkly and intense and perfect in 2 coats, and I really liked this, especially for an orange. It was really lovely. Then the next shade is called Kiss and Spell, and this is one of the darker ones. So as you guys can see here at the first coat, it's got a kind of a red wine or marsala vibe to it, but it does also have a really nice amount of sparkle in it. You actually see more sparkle on your nail than you do in the bottle, I feel like, but as you guys might have noticed there, this dries down to a matte finish. Now here it is on a little time lapse so you guys can actually see it go down to completely matte, and I will say that for a matte polish on its own, it dried really nicely and it was easy to work with, whereas later on, we're not necessarily going to have that same instance. So this one is called Hex Boyfriend, and this is kind of like a dark evergreen, and it has a bit of a shimmer in it. Granted, it's really hard to tell on here, and it does dry down to a matte finish, and it's perfect in 1 coat. However, I will say, like, its formula is just kind of sticky and it's not super fun to work with. Like, you have to work really quick, which I don't know. I'd rather just have a nice formula and put on my own matte top coat than to have a polish that's tricky to work with, personally. Then the next shade is called Spill the Tea, which they always have some fun names, and that's a pretty fun one. And this is kind of like a charcoal gray shade, I would say, but it has a really nice contrast of sparkles in it. You can't really tell if they're a magenta or they're red or they're orange. I feel like it's somewhere in between there, or maybe there's a mixture of all of them, but it's a really nice kind of finish. It covers perfectly in 2 coats, I would say, and has a really nice formula overall. And I thought it was a fun one, and I like the pops of color in this darker gray shade. Then the last shade that we're checking out today is called Coven and Caviar. Covens and Caviar. Sorry, there's an S there. And this is a black polish, as you guys can see, perfect in 1 coat, and it does dry down to a matte finish. Now, unlike the green one, this one actually is easy to work with, covers perfectly, and it does dry down to a really nice matte finish. So if you're into that, you definitely like that. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is just a good black polish, and if you already have one, you might not 100% need this one unless you don't have a matte top coat and you want a good all-in-one matte black. So I think that covers everything. If y'all have any questions, feel free to let me know down below and I'll get back to you whenever I can, which is hopefully soon. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye!